Good evening, everyone at rantfinance.com, and welcome to another edition of Dino's Tech Picks. Tonight is the 18th of August, about 10:20 p.m. Eastern, and it's been a while. Took a little break, but tonight we're looking at the minis again, the S&P minis. Last video I did and blog, we kind of talked about this Typhoon flag, and nothing's really changed here. It's still here. I added a kind of a trend support line. It's a duplicate of the top of the channel here, and I just drew it at the ends of these wicks, just because it kind of lined up with some of these. I'm sorry, I drew it on the bottom of these tails because it lined up with these wicks over here a little bit. But one thing I'm going to keep an eye on is, where some of these other tails are. This may be able to be moved up kind of like there, because that's kind of where we're getting a bounce now. But splitting hairs here for those that are short biased. This is getting a little frustrating. We've hit the top of the channel. We've got the Typhoon going on. Just breakdown already. But if that's what you want, that's usually not what you're going to get, or at least when the majority of the players in the market want a certain direction, it usually does not happen. So, but here's that diminishing volume too. I was talking about a couple videos ago, and we diminish on volume and we keep rising in price. That's usually something that you want to keep an eye on. But panning out a little bit, the channel's still here. We're still well within the channel. I extended some horizontal supports and resistance lines from earlier in the year, and by no surprise, a lot of these lined up with kind of where we've been stopping and holding support and whatnot. So I'm still expecting some type of move down here. The VIX had a pretty good bump today after looking like it was going to collapse yesterday. So, but it's still relatively low. So we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna get big moves either way until that thing jumps. And I've kind of been saying, my hunch is if we're going to get a move down, it's not going to happen during regular trading hours. That would give longs a chance to escape. And the market makers aren't going to do that. They're going to trap longs. So, one of these days we'll get a great big gap down and it'll stay down. It will. That dip will not be bought. Or if it is bought, those people are going to get creamed. Again, that's if we're going to have a move down. We could just sit here and continue to melt up until the elections. That's also another possibility. The SPX chart, I was looking at this, and it's got that Typhoon going as well, and it's typhooning outside of the channel. So definitely keeping an eye on that. Extended some horizontal supports and resistance here as well, and that 1407 area is one that had lined up earlier in the year, and that's kind of where we've been bouncing around. We peeked our head out today, but could not hold that line. IYR, one of my indicators that I like to watch, outside of its channel, broken down, trading below the 20 and the 50-day moving average. That's on the 4-hour. Looking at the daily, we're below the 20, but above the 50 and the 200. But there's the possibility here um, of a Head and Shoulders. We got the left shoulder here, head, and kind of a funky right shoulder, but the head is higher than the right shoulder. So I'm keeping an eye on this. I think last week or the week before I kind of mentioned the same thing, and that if this neckline broke here, this gap is definitely getting filled. Um, and I don't have a measurement for this, but it's significant enough that there would be some downward moves here, at least for the short term. So going to keep an eye on that as well. Keep an eye on the minis. Get back at it here the next couple of days and start looking at some other things. But um, I would like to see this typhoon break and maybe test the bottom of this channel at least. And I'm still expecting that to happen. Still got my shorts. Set some automatic sells, and none of them met. Um, well, I took a little break, so I'm still holding, but still going to be nimble though, because again, there's that possibility of running up into the elections. Though I'm not expecting that, but it is a possibility. So it's something to keep an eye on and be aware of. So I'll have an update in the morning. Feel free to check back in the blog, and we'll see if we get some clues to tomorrow's trading. Thanks.